guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to the Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be doing a little book haul, or maybe I shouldn't call it little, a book haul. I went to a blogger event called Destination HQ on Monday just gone. I was really kindly invited by the HQ publishing team, and it was an event where they were showcasing some of the books that were coming out in the autumn and winter of next year. And yeah, it was great. There were a load of other bloggers there. I met a lovely lady from, I think her name's Carrie, from a blog called The Boozy Bookworm, which I will leave a link to down below. I also met up with Emma from the channel Drinking by My Shelf. I'll leave a link to her channel down below as well. And we got to listen to a lot of different authors talk about the books that were coming out soon, and we got to take some of those books home, and it was just a really lovely experience. You know, chatting to different bloggers, and we also got the opportunity to speak to Felicity Everett for quite a lot of the evening, and it was lovely chatting to her. I've got a couple of her books to show you. Yeah, so we got this lovely sort of like little booklet with a load of information about upcoming releases, which I'm going to keep, and yeah, I'm going to show you all of the books that I got during that event. So these are all of the books, and I got them in this lovely HQ tote bag with their slogan, "One Place, Many Stories." It's really heavy, so I'm going to put it down. And we also had the opportunity to pick up these, which were little fans that you can put water in. So I'm going to really enjoy using that during the year as well. So I'm just going to dive into this bag and let you know what I got. So the most exciting thing about the evening was that Sarah Morgan was there, and it was like a massive fangirl moment. I didn't get an opportunity to speak to her much during the evening, but I bumped into her when we were going to get our coats just before we were leaving, and I said hello and that I really liked her books. And yeah, I was a little bit tongue-tied, to be honest, but it was really lovely meeting her. And they had proofs of her upcoming release. It's an October release called A Wedding in December. And this basically follows an older couple whose marriage is on the rocks, and in fact they have decided that they are going to split up, but their daughter is getting married, so they decide that they're going to pretend like everything's hunky-dory for their daughter's wedding, and it's basically about them going out to this wedding basically. So yeah, it's being described as a Christmas novel, and it looks, obviously, even the proof looks very Christmassy. It obviously isn't the finished cover, but yeah, have I got the actual date of when this is coming out? The 31st of October this is out, so I can't get over the fact that I've got a proof of this in my hands. Yeah, and I'm definitely going to be reading this soon. Next up is The People at Number 9 by Felicity Everett. She's the lady that I was talking about, that I spent quite a lot of the evening talking to alongside Emma. So this says on the front, "Meet the new neighbours, whose side are you on? Have you met the people at number 9? Sarah and Neil have new neighbours in their street. Glamorous and chaotic Gavin Lou makes Sarah's life seem dull. As the two couples become friends, sharing suppers, red wine and childcare, it seems a perfect couples match. But the more Sarah sees of Gavin Lou, the more she longs to change her own life, but those changes will come at a price." I think it's actually Sarah rather than Sarah. Sounds really good. I like thrillers, so I'm really glad to have this, and this is actually a finished copy, and this came out earlier this year, I think. Oh no, hold on a second, 2017. So yeah, I have seen this around before, but never had the opportunity to pick it up. So yeah. And then the new book that's coming out by her is called The Move, and this is coming out in December 2019. Has it got a more specific date? Yeah, the 26th of December, Boxing Day. So I'm going to read you the little blurb that's in here from her. So this says, "Karen is driving through a strange landscape into a new life. Always a city girl, now she's on her way to an idyllic country cottage refurbished for her with impeccable taste by her husband Nick. They're making a fresh start. but something is awry in the new house. It's not just the fact that Karen and Nick are ill at ease in one another's company, that their recent history is far from picture perfect. It's the whole vibe. The landscape is breathtaking by day and eerie by night. If the countryside is supposed to be a place of peace, far away from curtain twitchers, who's the person watching them from the hill? And who are their new neighbours? So yeah, lovely proof edition of this as well. And on the back they've got a picture of what the actual book's going to look like. So yeah, this is out in December, quite a while away yet, so I probably won't read this just yet because it's a bit of a tease if I read this and review it just now, but I'm really happy to have it. Next up is The First Time Lauren Paling Died by Alison Rudd. And when I showed this to my husband, he informed me that Alison Rudd is a sports journalist, and in fact she writes for The Times, I believe. So this is a finished hardcover edition of this, and this came out this year in 2019, but I believe they were promoting the paperback edition. Let me just have a little look when that's coming out. So the paperback is coming out on the 28th of November. Oh, and hold on a second, this isn't out yet either. So the hardback comes out on the 11th of July, so not that long to wait for this one. And this basically gives me vibes of Life After Life by Kate Atkinson, and in fact they do mention that book in the description of it. It's about a girl who lives throughout different decades. She lives and dies. Yeah, she has different lives. And in each life that she lives, this one particular man called Peter Stanning has disappeared. And in each life that she lives, she's kind of trying to find out what happened to him. So like I said, it gives me Life After Life vibes. This is a really lovely hardback edition of it. It's got these very 70s end papers. Is there anything on here? No, it's just green on there. But yeah, I mean, it was great to pick up a hardback edition of something, and really interesting that she's a sports journalist as well. Okay, next I'm going to talk about What Happens Now, and this is by Sophia Money-Coutts. And this is a contemporary book that's about a girl called Lil. And Lil has just been dumped by her boyfriend, and she decides that she needs to get back out there. So she goes on this date with this guy, she ends up sleeping with him, and then a few months later discovers that she's pregnant. And it's about the decision that she makes, you know, what she does from there. So on the front it says one first date, one not so little mistake. This, does it say on the inside when this is coming out? This is out on the 8th of August, and in fact it does sound like the perfect kind of like beach read for your summer holiday. So yeah, I'll be reading that sooner than later. It's a bit more of a chunkier proof, but yeah, sounds really good. Then I also picked up her earlier book that came out I think last year, and the paperback came out this year. This is called The Plus One. So this is about a singleton turning 30 called Polly. She's only managed to have sex twice last year, but seriously she's fine. It's New Year, she decides to turn over a new leaf, and it's all about finding a plus one for her best friend's wedding. So again, chick lit, contemporary, sounds like a good time. Another hardback edition that I got while I was there is Mr. Doubler Begins Again by Senny Glaister, I think that's how you pronounce that. And they were promoting the paperback edition, which is going to come out at the end of August. This is already out now, and this is about a man called Mr. Doubler who grows potatoes, and he I believe lives on his own, and it gives me sort of like A Man Called Eva vibes, and I didn't particularly like A Man Called Eva. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't the best thing in the world in my opinion, but just the way that this was described and the cover really kind of sparked something in me, so I decided to pick it up and give it a go. Yeah, I think Mr. Doubler's going to be a really interesting and quirky character, and maybe we'll see him coming out of his shell in this book. Okay, and the last book that I've got to talk to you about is this one, this is called The Day We Meet Again by Miranda Dickinson. I've never read anything by Miranda Dickinson before, but she writes a lot of chick lit novels, a lot of contemporary. and this is about Phoebe and Sam, and they meet by chance one day at St Pancras Station, and both of them are going off in different directions for a year. They fall in love on this particular day, which I don't know how I feel about that, but anyway, and it's all about they make the decision to, if they feel the same way in a year's time, that they're going to meet back up at St Pancras Station, and then they go off on their adventures, and you know, will they meet back up again? I don't know, I kind of get the feeling I know how this is going to end, but maybe not, maybe I'll be surprised. But like I said, I've never read anything by Miranda Dickinson before, so I thought I'd give this one a go, and I really liked the proof edition of this. And this comes out at the beginning of September, I think the 5th of September. So there you go guys, they are all of the books that I picked up at the HQ event. I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. Are you excited for any of the books that I've mentioned now that you know you've seen some of these for the first time? Which one most sparks your interest? Which one do you want me to read and review first? I would love to hear your thoughts as always. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.